So we just do this, and we're gonna see what happens. And if the third one falls in line, then we'll just quit for the day. What the fuck do I care? Seemingly pretty throttled today. It makes me wonder what's going on. Maybe I should look into it. What do you guys think? I know there sure has been a lot of crazy shit happening. You know, shootings and like there's a lot of shit that's just not being talked about because of the Trump shit. You know, the Trump Epstein distraction is working like gangbusters, like it was designed to. You know, Epstein has always been a distraction. The thing that people seem to forget, isn't that weird? Look at that. It's like it's hitting something and then getting messed up. The clouds, normal clouds, and then they're just getting frequencied. That's what it looks like. I'm probably wrong. But the Epstein stuff is the distraction. It always has been. The thing that you have to remember and realize and think about when it comes to Epstein is that we wouldn't know. Epstein wasn't even famous. He was a behind the scenes kind of famous, but he wasn't an everyday household name kind of famous. And VH1 did that Cribs episode about how special he was, that unaired episode. It wasn't Cribs, but it was a show like Cribs, some sort of Cribs-like show on VH1 where they look at big boy houses. And so it's not like Epstein was this guy who everyone was keeping tabs on. Literally the only reason you know his name is because they told you pay attention to this name. And Epstein was guilty of nothing unique. I mean, this is what Hollywood is known for. Around the same time, Corey Feldman on camera said that the biggest problem in Hollywood was and always will be the pedophilia. And the newscaster was like, what the fuck are you talking? But this is all, you have to gain the understanding that you are absolutely, totally, 100% manipulated in how you think. Until you understand that, and you understand that your arrogance is used and all that, you're going to have trouble with, understanding whatever things you want to have trouble understanding. You claim to have an understanding of religion, You claim that you're a Christian, and not a single Christian will be able to come in here and say, well, I'm a Christian because I studied everything I could about Islam, then debunked it. Did the same thing with Scientology, debunked it, did it with Mormonism, with Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism. I did it with all of it. And I could debunk everything, but then when I got to Christianity, it just all made sense. It was all right there. Like, that's not how it works. Nobody can say that. Every single person that's a Christian is a Christian out of arrogance. You believe it because you choose to. And even more importantly, you disbelieve or shit all over all of the other ones out of that same ignorance and arrogance. She's so purty. Check out the Uranta. I don't know what that is. What? I can't hear you. Yeah, yeah. You believe it because you want to. You want to. And you want to against your own common sense. Like common sense, your own, you know better. You know that shit's not real. But you don't want to make your mommy and daddy mad. You don't want to make Grampy mad. You know. Oh, so like I was saying yesterday. So my wife, before you go in, she's been watching West Wing, right? And the whole time she's been watching West Wing, she's been like, well, because of the shit you talk about, I've been sensitive to the whole Israel thing, and I've been watching to see if they, do the Israeli propaganda thing and blah blah blah. And I don't think they are. Well, we've gotten to what, the last season? Is this the last disc? No. Okay, so we're on season 6. And I was watching it with her last night, and it was. See, she still doesn't quite see it, but it's not like, again, I'm not talking shit. It's if you watch a basketball game with a professional, as opposed to somebody who's a really big fan of it, the professional is going to see a lot of shit that the really big fan doesn't see. Doesn't discount, the fans' love or anything for it or whatever. It's just when you're immersed in it, you see it more than somebody who's not. And, every single thing they do, like whenever it's something negative, they'll say the Palestinian Israel situation. Whenever it's something positive, it's the American or the Israeli American relations, right? It's just these little tiny things that unless you're paying attention to it, you won't really notice it. But the episodes that I was watching, they were talking about bombing Palestine to create peace, and the Palestine the one of the right was the roadside bomb.
The Palestinians bombed the Americans. What?
There's a beehive down there in that wood, I think. The Palestinians had a roadside bomb that killed the black guy, of course. The black guy got killed. But it turned into this, and they're constantly reporting about how there's all these suicide bombings happening, and they constantly show the Jewish Israeli perspective.
Yeah,
But they
the episode after, they were chastising Israelis.
Yeah, but even when they do that, they chastise them by going, yeah, well, the way they responded to that suicide bombing wasn't okay. There wasn't a suicide bombing. That's the point. That's how there's the manipulation happening. So we're watching Wonder Years yesterday, and apparently Paul and Kevin's birthdays are right around each other's birthdays, that within 4 days of each other. So they're turning 13.
Oh.
Right? So Paul has his bar mitzvah. And the amount of bar mitzvah stuff that they show.
Yeah.
There's the one point where Paul is like reciting the prayer that he has to, and they show like 30-40 seconds of it. Like it's just this. Yeah. There's 2 to 3% of the United States population that could even relate to that, let alone that might be watching it. It's right. Less than 1% that's watching it. And yet you have a whole episode dedicated to this. There's no Muslim episode. No. It's that shit is everywhere. It's just everywhere. All right. Hello. How's you today? What's happening? I've just commented twice on a video from yesterday that my live notification took me to. It's like watching a concert gig and being able to spot the nuances going between musicians through the eyes of one. Right, exactly. Exactly. I'm not sitting here talking shit about my wife. She just doesn't, she's not as into this as I am. She isn't as fascinated by it as I am. She hates it, but she just doesn't spend the time on it that I do. So she doesn't see it like I see it. But it really does come down to, you know, what you want to believe. And by controlling how you think, they control what you think naturally. You know, if you believe, if you accept the idea of God, well, then you have to accept all the parts of it, or else you become the arrogant prick that most of you Christians are. Right? Most of you, especially if you're a female, right? The females that will come in here and try talking shit. Like they don't want to acknowledge the fact that their Bible says they should absolutely not be doing this. 1 Timothy 2:12 says, I permit no woman to speak or have authority over a man. They are to keep silent. New Testament shit, not Old Testament shit. And what you see too is like, so now we have space isn't real. Of course it's not. The idea of like so I'm sitting here, I'm going against the accepted narrative, right? I'm the one that's swimming upstream, and I'm the one that has reasonable points and arguments to make. You, the person that's an actual believer, the best you can come up with is love God. Shouldn't this conversation be a more difficult one from my perspective? Shouldn't the religious person be able to come in and be like, yeah, well, what about this? And what about this? And what about this? And I'd be like, yeah, well, those things are a little suspect, and I have a hard time explaining those things. But, you know, it should be something along those lines. And that's why you'll be alone for the rest of your life. Also, there's not one verse in the Bible that says you'll make it to the pearly gates. Sweetheart, apparently because of my religious beliefs, I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life. That's why I'll be alone forever. So I guess you got to go then. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, shit. Oh, damn it. I didn't realize this was the reason why I'm so alone. But see, again, isn't it strange how instead of being able to engage in a reasonable conversation, debate, whatever, you have to resort to such weird, childish shit? Oh, yeah, well, you're stating facts about the big picture. I'm going to talk bad about you. Yeah. I'm going to make stuff up about you. Like you're not even accurate in what you're saying. Doesn't that bother you? Like that would bother me, right? If I said I believed in something, but then when you asked me why, I was like, I believe it because I believe it. Well, because I believe it. Like, and if you questioned me, I got upset. Oh yeah, well, your feet smell. Like, that would just be weird to me. I can't imagine identifying as something, saying I believe in something, and not being able to have simple conversation about that thing. That's so strange. I love all the people talking about working. Are you working right now? I mean, we all can't get jobs as fucking Israeli trolls. So, good for you. You're an Israeli troll. I have nobody in my life that, oh my God, I better tell her. Ange? Sweetheart? Ange? So, hey guys, apparently I have nobody in my life that loves me. So,
Yeah, Dad, I don't love you.
I know, and
Fuck your phone.
hey, you don't have to explain any of it, dude. I just wanted to let you guys know that I get it now. I didn't realize it before, but the people who can't argue their religious beliefs or debate or have any intelligent conversation have told me the truth about how you really feel. So I'm kind of upset that you guys have been playing me this whole time. You know, I thought that we all loved each other, but apparently you guys don't love me, and I don't have anybody in my life that loves me. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks a lot. Fucking A, man. You guys, I think I'm gonna probably stop recording, and I'm gonna probably never record again because nobody loves me, and the person who can't come up with any reasonable arguments on YouTube told me, and oh, that hurt me so much that I don't think I can do anymore, you guys. I love when somebody says that they're at work. So instead of doing your job, unless your job is trolling, instead of doing your job, you're sitting on your phone. Boy, you sure are awesome. Blind faith, indoctrination, and dumpings of dogma create such a rampant raging rant that has no evidence based backed up whatsoever. Evidence based backup whatsoever. Yeah, it's strange. It's strange, and it's like you guys know it. You guys know how flimsy and foolish your whole perspective is. That's why you get so angry when it's challenged. You know it won't stand up. Just know you ain't going to heaven. No one verse says you're going to heaven. And there's snake was a male. What? Like when this is how you communicate, like maybe if English isn't your first language, maybe. But Jesus Christ, you make yourself look stupid. None of you are going to heaven. None of you are. The only ones that might go to heaven are the ones who were such dorks they could never get laid. Because anybody that could get laid and got laid before they were married, oh, you're going to hell. It's pretty simple. Yes. Are you really there? Nope. I made it up. I can do her voice really easily. Can you answer me? What makes you think you're going to heaven? So you ain't better than anyone. What makes you think you're going to heaven so you ain't better than anyone? What? Like this is what I'm always showing you guys. When people can't make an argument, they just start making up an argument. There was nothing wrong with my spelling. You can't spell. Yep, that's what it is. There's nothing wrong with. Just know you ain't going to heaven. Not one verse says you're going to heaven. Also, there's THERE apostrophe S. Snake was a male. Yep. Nothing wrong with that one. If the rapture bus ain't picking you up, guys. None of you. None of you. How many of you have tattoos? You're not going. How many of you have piercings? Sorry about that one. But they don't that's not one there's not one in the verse. There's not one verse in the bowl that says you're going to heaven? I don't believe in the bowl. Who's behind you, following you? Jesus. Jesus is behind me. Isn't it strange that no religious people can come on here and make a decent argument? Every crackhead on YouTube thinks an amazing secret I figured out, yeah? There's no magical land in the clouds waiting for you when you die. Santa isn't real, neither is God. I agree with you, pimply face. So you're not going to heaven either. There's not one verse in the Bible that says you're going to heaven, like laughing my ass. What is this person like? This is so, it's so weird when people are like this, where they just keep saying nonsense that's not being said. They're like having their own conversation with themselves. Oh. Let's see. Show me one verse that says you're going on. Why did you tell Islam Allah don't exist? Because I don't speak like that. And yeah, I don't know, like I'm not some arrogant dumbass who thinks my sky daddy exists but the other ones don't. Why do you think why do you think Allah doesn't exist but your God exists? What evidence have you seen to show you that that one sky daddy's true but the other one isn't? Let's hear some arrogant explanations here. Mm-mm. Jesus got your back, bro. Is there a real question you had? This is a real question. Have you read any of the Bible? Nope. Isn't it weird how Christians always sort of hide behind that? They act like people don't believe in the Bible because they just haven't read it. If they just would have read more about it, if they just knew more about the church, then they would believe in it. It's never that way. The people that don't believe in the Bible, that aren't religious, they're always the ones that have a whole bunch of shit that the religious person can't answer. And yet they want to pretend like it's just you haven't read that one magical verse that's going to make, oh, I guess all this dumb bullshit actually makes sense. It doesn't exist. It doesn't work that way. Show me one verse in the Bible, just one. Verily I say unto you, no one of this generation shall die before all of these events come to pass. Matthew 24:34. So all of you that think that the Bible is talking about something that's yet to come, well, Jesus flat out says, verily I say unto you, no one of this generation shall die until all of these events have come to pass. So that's, all those people from that generation are long, long dead. And the Bible is talking about, the Bible is like, I always compare it to the Princess Bride, right? The movie. It's like you're reading somebody else telling somebody else a story about something that happened a long time ago. It's not about this is what's going to happen here in the future. By the way, if you're watching, like, share, and sub. Shit helps out. Appreciate it. Take 2 seconds to share this on Facebook. Click share and then click Facebook. And if you're scared that people are going to get mad at you, then just share it like, this guy's crazy. Come tell him so. Just do something. Just do something to show the system that you're not going to put up with it. It's called beliefs. Yeah, I know. That doesn't make it real. Why does this person keep saying, show me one verse that says you're going to heaven? Like, what? Who is anybody even talking about that? Was that even brought up about going to heaven and all that shit? Nope, that wasn't even brought up. 600-year difference in writing. You're onto something, but I don't know what you're talking about. You're spitting on religion. Yeah. Got your Team Jesus shirt. on back to front, or maybe he'll have your back. Oh no, I have my good shirt on. Shoot your local pedophile. But I bet you opened the Quran. Yep, I sure opened it and I live for it. It's so good. There is only one God. He sent several messengers, and now we just seem to fight over whose message was the best. There is only one God. It doesn't matter what you call him. Why do you believe in God? What makes you believe that? If you're going to inject yourself into it, then have a reason for it. Well, no wonder you don't understand it. Read it. You can't say you understand The Giver, a book, and pretend you know nothing about it, or you know anything about it. What are you stupid? Like again, this is just so weird that's what people hear. Like that's what you gleaned from me saying dumb religious people think that people that don't agree with their religion haven't read it or don't know anything about it. It's really stupid. And then I'm literally quoting Bible verses. You haven't read it. There's not one verse that's blah, blah, blah. Okay. You need to turn to Jesus, stop judging others, and take care of your business. Yep. Again, that's one of these things that of course, the Jays that gave you guys that religion that tells you to not only be happy with what you have, but mind your own business. Don't try to fix the world. Don't try to stop the pedophiles. Don't try to shoot the pedophiles, change the laws. Don't try to stop the genocide that they're going to do. Focus on your own stuff. Be selfish. More selfishness. You believe that God hears your prayers. You believe, first of all, you believe in the God that you believe in for no reason, for not a reason you can give. There's nothing that you can say, I believe in this God because of this, because, you know, and anybody's going to go, oh, well, wow, that's irrefutable. That's undeniable. Oh, da, da, da. When you get to hell, I'll take you for a coffee. Here's you passing judgment. So stupid. You're talking about the Bible and I'm proving you know nothing about it. Yup, you definitely are proving it. Submarines aren't real. If you want to talk about submarines, see, it's always so strange to me, right? The people that will come into a feed and say, oh, well, even if we were talking about submarines, but we got into this topic, why aren't you engaging on the topic that's being talked about? Maybe we'll come back to submarines. Maybe it'll be something we do tomorrow. But the fact that we're talking about this right now and you don't want us to, why not? Why would Christians try to change the subject away from their biblical bullshit if it was real? Wouldn't they want to take the opportunity like, oh, sweet, I get to brag about my Jesus. I get to explain to people why I'm right about these things. How come they don't do that? How come anytime religion's brought up, they're the quickest to change the channel? Oh, Jesus is a guide to a better life. Yeah. Not really. I mean, again, what are you talking about? What part is the guide to the better life? Bro is calling me stupid when his whole chat is laughing at him. I just told you to read. I'm just going to trust a doctor unless they've read and studied. Why are you taking my shit, bitch? Swear to God, I'll punch you in the face. Again. To wake up and choose to believe there is nothing after death is a scary and pathetic point of view. Oh, so you're saying that it's too scary for you to comprehend that life ends. I mean, I'm sure you eat animals and shit. You're okay with that life ending. But you think it's scary to think about life ending, and so you're going to overlook what is you know well known to be one of the largest pedophile organizations in the world. You're going to overlook all of that because you are scared to die. It's pathetic. It's pathetic to accept that death happens and not believe that you go to Sky Palace with Sky Daddy and, Skylar Gray. Here we go. John 1:4-5 says, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it." Oh, well, there you go. Yeah. And that is indicating that Jesus, as the truth, brings the light, brings truth and life that darkness, evil, or ignorance cannot overcome. Well, then that must not be very truthful, right? The thing is, if you have the truth, people will steal it. If you have the truth, you can be talking against the narrative, and people will make fake accounts. Even if you block them, they'll make fake accounts to watch you. You don't have to force truth on people. And truth, real truth, isn't afraid of being scrutinized. If what you have is true, then you welcome scrutiny. You welcome being questioned. You welcome the challenge. But that's not how your religious truth ever seems to work. Religious truth always just wants you to shut up and believe. Don't ask questions. Don't point out the obvious hypocrisy and stupidity in so many of the stories. There's a reason you don't get it. You don't want to. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I don't want to just accept the idea that there is a God out there that is watching a genocide take place and do nothing about it. A genocide against Christians. A lot of those Palestinians are Christians. I don't want to accept that there's some all-knowing, all-powerful God that is watching from this angle. He can get closer than this. He's watching, it's watching as clergy continue to rape children. And it does nothing about that. That's not a God I want, but that God is making that person run faster than the other one. Again, because I know the argument is, well, that's free will, that's free will. You've never heard anybody tell somebody that wins an award, wins a race, wins something, and says, oh, all glory be to God. They never say, oh, no, you did that. That's your free will, buddy. You did it. God had nothing to do with it. Nobody ever says that. But when you ask, hey, how come God doesn't do anything? Doesn't do anything. There are these religious pedos, these clergy pedos that exist for decades. Your God does nothing. As a matter of fact, the kids that do dare to speak against it, they're bamboozled. They're told that they're lying and they're the bad guys for it. There is no God, weirdos. John 3:17. For God so loved these nuts. Dog, I'm here to defend Christianity. I just got here when I wrote that. The caption was subs aren't real. I've been on them. You're the one dodging shit because you'd rather bicker with Christians. Right. We should just believe you because you say that you've been there. I guess that explains why you're a Christian, right? You just believe things that you're told. From random sources you can't even vet or anything. Gotcha. Okay, so somebody says, I'll pray for you. If you honestly believe that prayer works even the littlest bit, and you're praying for anything other than the clergy stops raping children, you're an asshole. Nothing in my life needs prayer. Nothing in my life needs prayer more than the clergy needs to stop raping children. So if all the prayers, it's all spread out. because they're asking so many different things, and I need this job, and I want this, and I want that. I know you gave my kid cancer, but can you take it away now, please? And all this bullshit, right? All those babies that you're busy giving AIDS to in Africa, right? Can you pay attention to this? If maybe it's because God's just so spread thin. So don't waste any of your magical prayer juice on me. You can use all the prayers you would use on me to pray that your clergy stops raping children. But you won't like that, will you? I think Abraham has a hand in this. Label me loco, but I'm just putting it out there for a debate. The three Abrahamic religions, you mean? All coming from the same source? That's why you should and read. Like this is like this person is just so stupid that they're hiding behind. Like it's obvious at this point that I know the Bible. I've read lots of it. It's obvious. But because they can't actually argue anything I say, they're gonna keep pretending like they don't see it. Oh, they came at me yesterday. Bring it on, amateurs. I'm in a sub right now, yes. But God promised the Jews to Israel. Exactly. The book that they wrote, like again, you Christians, you're not even the top dogs in your own belief. You're not even the top of the heap. You're second class in your own belief structure. You believe that the bad guys in your Bible, the people that killed your Jesus, your Christian God's only son and superhero, that those people, the completely different religion that hates you, are your Christian God's favorite chosen people. Not you. Them. If you don't see how that's a manipulation, and that's, and it's so applicable to today, right? Instead of our money being used to benefit our lives, it's stolen and given to Israel by the billions. And you're not supposed to, like the President of the United States is destroying the First Amendment. The Constitution of America is being destroyed by the President of the United States to protect this one group and this foreign country. And again, it's the group that hates you. Like, it's just so fucking insane. You're, Y-O-U-R, a fool, lost in your own sauce. Yep, get yourself out there. You are not that guy at all. See, whenever you say things like that to me, because I'm not sitting here saying, I'm that guy. But when you say that to me, that sounds like you trying to tell yourself that. Inside, you're thinking, man, this guy is fucking amazing. No, he's not. You're not that guy. Like, I'm not at all saying that. I'm not talking about myself in the slightest. I'm talking about the bigger picture. But you keep wanting to make me the focus. I know your title is to get people wild, and I worked on subs. Yep, I'm sure you have. Not a Christian summer. Yep. Again, it's so crazy to me that people are way more concerned with submarines. Like I love this idea that there's all these submarine enthusiasts out here, and they got to YouTube this morning. They typed in submarines because they were looking for the latest submarine upload video, and they see mine and they're like, what the fuck? Oh man, this guy, how dare he? People who know they are being prayed over in dire circumstances, like being deathly ill at the hospital, are more likely to die. Look that one up. I don't think that's the case. I mean, I think a lot of times when we're told about shit like this, they'll be like, people have an 11%, I think I saw it on West Wing, somebody was talking about people that are being prayed over have an 11% more of a chance of recovering, of surviving, or whatever it is. 11% is chance. You can't say that, it's just like with flu shots, right? When they say flu shots have a X% chance of preventing the flu. But you can still get it. Right? You can still get it. It's like there's no way you can take this person, put them through this 90-day period with the flu shot, and then rewind and have that person live the exact same life and have them not get the flu shot, and then compare and see, were they more likely to get the flu during that 90-day period? You can't do that. Scientific studies are such bullshit so much of the time. And anytime they're talking about shit where it's like, 30% or less difference, this is all just chance and bullshit. These aren't, the James Randi thing, right? The James Randi had a contest, had an opportunity. It was a calling of the bluff. He had this $1 million prize for anybody that could prove without a doubt that they had psychic abilities, that they had some sort of, testable, repeatable psychic abilities. And by the time he died, it was $1 million. It was a lot less when it first started. I think it was 1,000, and then it got up to 10,000 or whatever. And you would think anybody with any real powers, any sort of real anything, would jump at the idea to, one, claim the prize, two, drum up business. Because if you're on James Randi shit and you're the one that finally claims the prize, you're gonna have all sorts of people calling you. You've proven that you have psychic abilities. There's gonna be just endless money coming in for you. Not to mention, you get to prove a naysayer wrong and, prove that there is this magical thing out there. and at one point they had to start putting in restrictions. You had to be this, you had to be that, because so many dumbasses would come in wasting their time. I can do this, I can do that, and they would always fail. And this James Randi prize existed for like 30 years, and no one ever was able to claim it. No one ever was able to definitively display any sort of psychic abilities, any sort of powers. And you would think that would be, it would be like a thing that everybody would jump at. But the way it worked was the psychic, the person with the magic powers, and the producers of the show, and James Randi, the scientific mind behind it. James Randi's a brilliant guy, or was. They would devise some sort of test that the person that had the powers was in on. So they couldn't say they just sprung it on him. This person said, if you do this and this, I'll be able to prove my abilities. And they agreed to it, and then they would film it. And it's they would always account for chance. And so, if it was, you had to pick out of 10 things, they would assume that you would get 2 of them right out of chance. And you had to get like 6 or 8 right to be able to win the prize. And no one ever did it, but lots of people would get the chance amount. They would pick the 2, the 1, the 2, maybe the 3 every once in a while. And so you whenever they tell you, and chance, that 2 out of 10, that's 20%. 3 out of 10, that's 30%. Whenever we're talking about that is just, this is nothing. This thing could happen or it couldn't happen on its own. There is no definitive proof of any of that shit. So when they talk about shit like 11% of this or whatever, it's just bullshit. Anyway, General Electric is in front to get adrenochrome. That's the last comment I'm going to read. from up there. I'm gonna flip down real quick. And this guy is describing the Stargate experiments, but doesn't know it even happened. But I'm sure that's a conspiracy. Hey, what's up? Yeah, no problem. Hang on, I'm live, so you know what? I'll just come back. You guys want to come back? Come back.